If you are watching this reading right now, then it is highly likely that this reading found you because there are some messages that your spirit guides or spirit or whoever you resonate with are deeply trying to get across to you. So stay tuned for the messages that you need to know right now. Let's start with the pile selection process. So we have 3 piles to choose from in today's reading, and they go as such. This card represents pile number 1. This card represents pile number 2. And this card represents pile number 3. If you already know exactly which pile is drawing you towards itself, then you can go into the description box down below and click on the timestamp that you need. But if you are somewhat unsure about how you should pick the right pile, then just a few of my recommendations would be to try and get yourself grounded in this present moment and really tune into your body. You can try closing your eyes and taking a few deep breaths. That may also help you to get more present. But look at the piles and see what is pulling you towards itself. Where is your eye landing? What are you feeling intuitively? Maybe there is something that you hear in your mind or something that you feel a certain sensation towards. Maybe you see something, just something catches your eye and you cannot stop looking at it. Whatever it is and however your intuition speaks to you, trust that voice, but also please don't forget to use your discernment as you are listening to these general messages. And without further ado, let's jump into it. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 1. My name is Helen and I am so happy to welcome you to a reading with me. So thank you so much for being here, and also thank you for any support that you have shown me or this channel. I really appreciate it. Now, pile number 1, just a quick disclaimer for the sake of transparency. I am actually not feeling the best, and yeah, I was under the weather for several days, and I'm not 100% all good. Let's just say it like that. So if you know, I'm not sure what we are going to get from the reading and how well it is going to come out, but yeah, you know, just in case you have seen some of my previous videos and you are seeing this one, and if you can sense that something is different or I'm not as high energy, then that is the reason why. So I'm just letting you guys know. But anyway, pile number 1, let's get back to you and the card that you chose. So we have this Iron card, and I'm going to feel my way through this card intuitively and see what I pick up for you. So pile number 1, when I look at this card, I get the sensation of feeling really charged up. So I feel like at this time, you are really wired, I want to say, or just highly energized. Now, I have to say, I'm not sure, maybe for some of you, this is the sort of energy that just gets you moving, that gets you motivated, that gets you, you know, up and running, taking action, exercising, finishing your goals, crossing things off your to-do list, that type of stuff. But I have to say, I'm feeling somewhat of an ominous energy here, or it's more so like negatively charged. And what I mean by that is that there seems to be some like anger or frustration or that sort of energy at the background of this, where it feels like it's coming from something that is weighing you down or that is weighing heavily on you. And it seems to almost like push you towards some sort of breaking point or possibly an explosion, because there's a lot of emotion that I feel from this card. You can also see the symbol of Mars that is depicted on this card. And Mars is very often the planet of willpower and action and assertiveness, and also violence or outbursts and anger as well. So, you know, it has the good and the bad side, just like every other planet and just like everything else. So it's just that I'm feeling more of this highly pressurized, feeling like you're about to burst type energy here. And again, I'm looking at the actual depiction of iron on this card, and it's so like overpowering. It's so big. It takes up so much space on this card. So it feels like it's this central thing, something that is weighing heavy on you. Maybe it is a responsibility. Maybe it is a thought or, you know, a worry at the back of your mind. Maybe it is something that is a nuisance in your life, but you don't know how to deal with it. Whatever it is, it just feels like it's starting to push you into the space of feeling emotionally really, really overwhelmed. And I feel like you don't quite know how to handle these emotions, how to let out the surge of feelings that you get. And I feel like you don't know how to do that constructively. Again, for some of you, it may be that you are actually channeling it into exercise or some sort of other physical activity or a hobby, or, you know, just doing something to get it out of you physically. But for others of you, it almost feels like this piling on energy, like it's just accumulating, and you don't know how to release it safely and constructively. And I also look at these lines, and they almost feel like threads or strings on an instrument to me, and it feels like this iron is like pushing on it, and it just feels like there is potentially a breaking point nearing, or something that you are feeling very intensely, but that you are trying to prevent from happening. Especially, I want to say, maybe this is more of a specific message, but especially if this whole situation is talking about a relationship of some kind, and most likely a very central relationship in your life. So it feels like it's not something that you want to have come crashing down or get to this breaking point or this blow up state. But I feel like you also don't know how to address this issue, because it feels like it's so big and heavy or complex that it can potentially alter the dynamic in a very profound way. And I feel like that's something that you are afraid of as well. So it's almost like you're afraid of changing the dynamic by approaching this subject or issue, but you're also afraid of losing the connection if things don't change, you know? So it almost feels like you are stuck between a rock and a hard place. But again, that feels like it's more of a specific message. So yeah, I'm just putting it out there. Okay, I'm so sorry, pile number one. I forgot to mention something that I noticed as I was preparing the oracle cards for your pile. Your cards were super talkative and they were just flying out. So I feel like it very nicely coincides with the energy of this charged up sort of feeling that is coming through from your card and your pile. So yeah, I'm so sorry I forgot to mention that, but I felt that it was noteworthy how the cards were full of energy and couldn't really contain themselves. Anyway, this is just the intuitive part, pile number one. And if you are not 100% sure whether this is talking about you and your current circumstances, then stick around for the oracle cards as well, because we are going to look at what it is that you are dealing with at this time, or the most sort of important, relevant situation that you are in the middle of in your life. We have to be fair, destiny, compassion, divine mercy and kindness, obstacles, and mending. Okay. Pile number one, a lot of confirmation again coming through these cards, especially if you resonate with this last scenario that I was just describing. But anyway, let's begin with these two cards over here. So we have this to be fair and compassion, kindness, and divine mercy cards coming out. And I do feel that this current situation that seems to take up most of your energy or most of your headspace is one that seems to require you to temper your emotions, to temper your reactions and what you do in response to whatever you are feeling. With this to be fair, it feels like it's some sort of situation that needs leveraging or that needs handling carefully, where there are potentially different opinions at play or different aspects that you need to consider. Maybe some of you are having to make a decision as well, and it could be a very profound decision, again, related to whether you can keep something going in your life the way that it is, or maybe whether something needs to be changed and how it needs to be changed. For some reason, maybe this is more of a specific message again, but I'm feeling that some of you are having to make decisions daily. Like, the decisions that you have to make, they may be kind of small because I feel like they are just mundane decisions, but this issue that is front of mind for you seems to put you in a place where you have to consider very carefully even the most mundane of decisions that you are making. Like, that's how impactful this seems to be. Or again, if this issue that you are dealing with is not necessarily the central problem or the central cause of making these decisions, it seems to impact how you are making decisions. It seems to be seeping into your mental health to the level that you are having a difficult time not allowing it to sway you, you know, because yeah, it feels like it's impacting your ability to stay neutral and to like focus on other things. That it seems to sort of be taking over. And especially with the keywords kindness and compassion, you seem to be trying really, really hard to find those qualities in you and to stay in that sort of loving and supportive and understanding mindset. But again, it feels like it's almost this constant battling with yourself, or going back and forth and trying to keep your balance. Now, okay, before I move on, I have to say, because for some of you, maybe again, more of a specific message, for some of you, the situation has nothing to do with the other person or with the people involved in the situation. And so it's almost like you know that having these emotional outbursts and releasing all of this tension on other people is unfair to them. I feel like you mentally know that, so you're trying not to do that. But again, this thing is so heavily affecting you that I feel like it's difficult for some of you to filter that emotion out of how you relate to other people. And yeah, it basically just seems to impact everything and yourself in all of these different ways, some of which you may even be unconscious of, or you may not realize that you are acting in a certain way that is being driven by this feeling that you don't know what to do with. We also have this Palm Destiny card. And this is telling me that, again, whatever this thing is that is causing the issue, whether it is a relationship, whether it is a job, whether it is a responsibility or something that is just weighing heavily on you, it seems to have such significance in your life where you feel that it's part of your destiny. It's something that is meant to be in your life. And I feel like that's what makes it all the more difficult for you to manage it. Because again, it feels like the stakes are really high. Like, you don't want to lose it. You don't want to jeopardize it. So yeah, anyway, that's what I'm feeling with the Destiny card. We also have the Obstacles and Mending cards coming out. So again, with this Obstacles card, it's very straightforward. We have been talking about it. There are issues, there are challenges that you are facing, and you don't seem to know how to deal with those. But again, with Mending, it feels like you are trying. You are trying to take each sort of issue or each situation, each irritant as it comes, and deal with it accordingly. Again, this is a very big confirmation for those of you who are dealing with a specific relationship. So again, for those of you who are in a relationship scenario, this seems to indicate that there is a pattern of a lot of fighting, a lot of bickering, and then like making up as well. So that may be something that happens several times a day. Like it could have gotten to this point by now. So yeah, it's just a confirmation for that scenario. But more broadly, it just feels like you are trying to put out these little fires every day and deal with these issues, trying to keep this thing together. But yeah, pile number 1, that is what I have for you regarding the situation that is most sort of pertinent or most front of mind for you right now. If you resonated with this description, you recognize yourself in this, then it is a very, very good indication that this is the right pile for you. And definitely keep on watching, because now we get to the tarot card messages that you need to hear right now. So let's start off with what you need to hear about the recent past. We're going to be doing this kind of past, present, future setup. So let's see about your recent past. What spirit wants you to hear right now about your recent past? Okay, we have the 7 of Wands and the Knight of Swords with Temperance as the underlying energy. I'm going to point out some of the zodiac signs as well, just in case you resonate with them or you recognize them around you, especially if this is a specific relationship dynamic, then you may recognize the other person's zodiac sign as well, and that may be further confirmation for you. First off, with the Mars indication being present here, Aries or Scorpio could be very significant signs, but we also have Sagittarius with Temperance, we have Gemini with the Knight of Swords, and Leo with the 7 of Wands. Pile number 1, I am feeling a message that is pretty much on the opposite ends of the spectrum. So I'm going to start with the underlying energy, because this best sort of sums up the energy that is present here. So with Temperance being the underlying energy, the situation that you have gotten in now has come from the need to balance out or mellow out the energy that was very strong within you previously. And so basically it's just about tempering this aspect of you that was maybe a bit too on the one extreme of the spectrum. So let me explain it a bit more, so you could understand it more easily. So we have this 7 of Wands and this Knight of Swords. For some of you, the aspect of you that needed tempering was the tendency to get really defensive and get really aggressive when someone was not agreeing with you, or when you felt that you were maybe threatened. Maybe for some of you, again, this may be a more specific message, and I feel like you will definitely know that this is you if this actually is your message. Some of you may have felt quite often that people were against you, or that people were challenging you, or that people were trying to put you down or trying to criticize you, even when maybe that wasn't the case, when they were just simply disagreeing with you, or they were simply seeing things in a different way. So maybe for some of you, you were very easily threatened, or maybe you felt like people were against you a lot. So that may have caused this feeling of irritation, or feeling like you want to lash out, like you want to put people in their place, especially with this Knight of Swords. This is a very quick-witted and very striking, especially like vocally or verbally, sort of energy. And so you may have kind of gotten your talons out when you felt like that. And maybe that happened quite a lot, and without you even necessarily wanting it to happen, it was just some sort of knee-jerk reaction that you felt, and afterwards, you know, maybe you felt bad about it as well, bad about the things you said or how you said them. And so if that is you, then this whole situation that you were in, where you feel this pressure that the stakes are so high and you can't have these outbursts, the whole situation is stemming from the need to temper that out of you. Or I feel like you are learning to temper that aspect of you that wants to fight, that wants to lash out, that wants to, you know, say something snarky or say something clever. Now, for others of you, and again, this is the whole other end of the spectrum, for others of you, there was a tendency to back down way too easily, to not say when something was bothering you, to not vocalize when you were feeling ambushed, or when you were feeling put down, or when you were feeling like you weren't supported, like you were left alone, or like you were abandoned or something like that. If you were struggling with those emotions, or, you know, just maybe something was getting on your nerves even, for some of you, there was this tendency to not speak up about it, to just kind of, you know, swallow it and push it down and not allow it to cause an issue. And maybe you just try to like work it out within yourself. Again, with this Knight of Swords, this seems to indicate that all of this physical energy, all of these physical sensations, it is something that you try to rationalize away, or that you try to handle mentally within your own mind. So yeah, for those of you who resonate with this scenario, this whole temperance energy is talking about getting you to a place where you are now learning how to actually vocalize, how to express what is not working, what is not right for you. And again, like, if this is something that you have constantly been challenged by, then it makes a lot of sense that feeling this pressure building up but not knowing how to express it constructively, feeling like you are scared to burst the bubble, or you know, just like ruin the relationship, or ruin the work dynamic, or whatever it is, it makes sense that you would feel that way, because you don't have a lot of practice, is what I'm seeing with this Knight and this Seven of Wands. And that is exactly the thing that you seem to be learning right now. So regardless of which scenario or which extreme you resonate with more, this whole aspect is basically a result of this bigger lesson that you are learning. And I feel like it's meant to teach you these skills to deal with all of these feelings and all of these challenging circumstances, these frustrating situations, a lot better in the future. But let's look at what is it that you need to know about this present situation. Whoa. Okay. So we have the Five of Swords, the Four of Swords, and the underlying energy is the Hermit. Okay. So heavy Aquarian energy coming through from these cards. Well, Aquarius and Libra. And we also have Virgo with the Hermit. So basically what I'm feeling here is that Spirit seems to indicate how important it is to actually find ways to shut your brain off and to distance yourself from these conflicts, from the stress, from the difficult sort of emotions and thoughts and things that are swirling around in your brain. It's so important to find ways to switch yourself off from that, so that you wouldn't be constantly ruminating over everything. And especially with Hermit, there is this message, this underlying message of the importance of kind of distancing yourself from all of that. So especially if you are easily drained by other people's energy, and again, especially if this whole situation is tied to someone else, then having these little pockets of alone time, or just this time for yourself where you can really, again, just shut everything off, and maybe even do a bit of a digital detox as well. For some of you, that is definitely a super, super important thing. Just disconnecting and getting into nature, or doing some yoga or meditative exercises or anything like that, that would really help you to get back in touch with your body and out of the mental chatter, out of the stimulations, out of the again, the ruminations that may be going on in your head. This whole mental energy, which seems to be so prevalent here, which again further confirms that for a lot of you, this whole energy, this frustration is something that you are dealing with in your own mind, but that you don't really have an outlet for. So all of this mental energy, it seems to be really, really taking it out of you. And I feel like that's why this Four of Swords and the Hermit card are pointing at the importance of just like getting away from it for a bit. And again, I feel like there is real need to distance yourself from the surroundings as well, if you can at all. If you can do that, like physically getting yourself out of that space, or just, you know, again, change of scenery, change of surroundings. I feel like that could be really, really good for you, especially again, if you are able to go to nature or have a walk somewhere, I don't know, in the park, in the woods, or by the beach, whatever you like, whatever you enjoy, wherever you can really relax and unwind, especially mentally. That seems to be key here, because I feel like, again, with this Hermit energy especially, there is some sort of key information or vital realizations that you need to get. And I feel like you can't do that when you are in the midst of this noisy energy, or this full of conflict energy. Okay, and let's also look at what you need to know about the near future. Okay, we got Temperance anyway. So we have the Nine of Coins, the King of Swords, and Temperance. So we have more Virgo energy, we have more Aquarius, and more Sagittarius. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Cups, which is Piscean energy. So first off, with the Knight of Cups as the underlying energy, it seems like there is real possibility of getting to a much more flowing space, right? We are getting the first Cups card, because before that, all we had mainly was Swords cards, and we had some fire, which again makes sense with the iron or the Mars energy. And yeah, that was pretty much it. So we have the first Cups card here, which says that, you know, water, as it is flowing and as it is tied to our emotions, again, our relationships, our connections, it's indicating that you can get to a place where you can really take some positive steps towards feeling that level of compassion and feeling that level of kindness and understanding, and getting to a place where it's much easier to be on good terms, or to just feel okay, you know, to not take things personally when someone disagrees with you, or when someone doesn't like your idea or something like that, you know, because this Knight of Cups, they are just good, you know, they are just happy with themselves because they know what they believe in. And that seems to stem from something deeply emotional, something that is deeply buried within their heart. And I just feel that this is talking about, again, if this is a relationship scenario, then this is talking about like positive movement forward, because Knights are all about movement. When it comes to, again, like mending fences, or getting to a place where you can finally sort of see eye to eye, or where you can open up about something that is possibly sensitive, possibly a very tender subject, or something that makes you feel vulnerable. but it also seems to like bring you closer as well, approaching that. So yeah, I love this Knight of Cups energy. And the interesting thing is that all three of these cards, especially with Temperance coming out again, it's talking about you sort of learning that lesson or getting to that place where you are actually able to temper that aspect in you and get to a much more balanced ground or space. With the Nine of Coins, this is talking about feeling secure, feeling confident, feeling safe by yourself or within yourself and with the current state of things. So it feels like there is some sort of inner breakthrough, or again, this sense of calm or this sense of peace that you seem to be finding, which then allows you to master, or at least take command of your thoughts and your words. Because, and I don't know, I just find it so funny that we are getting from the Knight of Swords energy to a King of Swords energy, which is the master of the suit. So it's not just that you are, expressing or bursting this energy out of you without knowing how to constructively channel it. This is very much knowing how to constructively channel what you feel, and again, being in full control of how you respond to something, how you react to something, whether you allow something to push you off balance or whether you are going to stay composed. So yeah, this is really a very, very positive sign that, you seem to be learning a truly, truly valuable lesson here. Something that I feel you are going to be very happy about even in the future, and something that is going to serve you down the line as well. And for some of you, especially with the Nine of Coins and the King of Swords, the lesson entails establishing boundaries and protecting your boundaries, vocalizing your boundaries. And I feel like it's also something that helps with the frustrations where, things can't really build up as much because people are not overstepping your boundaries, right, anymore. Like if they know what your boundaries are, and if you keep enforcing those boundaries, then it's very difficult for people to get on your nerves as easily or manipulate with your feelings or get you like all riled up and stuff. So yeah, that is that, pile number one. But let's close the reading out with an oracle card message as well. This is going to be either a support message or advice from Spirit. So let's see what they want you to know to close this reading out. Okay, so this card feels like it wanted to come out. The card that you have is Assistance with Access. It is necessary to ask for and accept help in order to receive it. So I feel like this is talking about, again, like dealing with everything on your own and almost shielding all of these feelings and all of these thoughts that are plaguing you, and trying to, downplay the intensity of them. But I also feel that, again, for some of you, you have been doing it for so long and it hasn't really served you. Or at least it's not serving you anymore, and it seems to be really, becoming detrimental to you and to your health, and it seems to impact a lot of different things in your life. So essentially, that is the whole lesson, I feel. Just learning to open up, but in a constructive way. And again, realizing that if something is bothering you, it is okay to say it. It is okay to take up space. It is okay to establish your boundaries and let other people know how you want to be treated. All of those things are completely okay. At the bottom of the deck, we have Trusting Tricksters. The trickster's only power is your trust. You are always free to withdraw it. So I feel like this is hinting at the whole notion of manipulation that we were just talking about. So, you know, again, people having control over how you feel and how you think about things, and again, that seems to be the pattern that you are breaking here, or at least that you are on your way to breaking. So yeah, this feels really, really powerful. And again, I'm not surprised that we're getting such a powerful reading with this whole charged up Iron and Mars energy that you chose. But yeah, hopefully these messages gave you something soothing and hopeful or useful. And if that's the case, and if you are still here, by the way, please leave me a little mountain emoji down in the comment section so that I would know that you are still here, that you watched this reading all the way through, and that you found something useful from this. It would really, really mean so much to me. And thank you also for putting up with all of my fumbling. I swear to God, sometimes it is so difficult to get the words out, and especially today, it looks like. So thank you so much. I hope to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, insight, and fun. But in the meantime, please take care of yourselves, be good, and bye-bye. Hello and welcome to your reading pile number 2. My name is Helen, and I am so thankful that you have chosen to spend your time with me and watch this reading. But yeah, let's get to the cards and the messages. Now, before we begin, I just quickly want to put a disclaimer out there that I am not feeling 100%. I was recently a bit under the weather and I am still not feeling that great. So yeah, my energy levels are somewhat iffy, but I'm gonna do my best to get these messages out for you and hopefully give you a meaningful reading. So yeah, please bear with me. But anyway, back to you, pile number 2. So you chose the Chiron card, if I could speak, and I am going to feel my way intuitively through this card. So what I'm feeling here is that there seems to be a bit of a division in your life right now. Something is being divided, or that there seems to be this growing chasm between you and someone else. Now, I do feel more strongly that this is a relationship sort of scenario because it seems to involve you and another party. I'm not saying that it has to be a romantic relationship, but it's definitely between you and someone else. And with Chiron, the archetype of Chiron is in and of itself a wounded healer type energy, meaning that there is something that I feel that has deeply wounded you. There could be a pattern that you are grappling with. Maybe this wound is something that wasn't inflicted by the other person that this division is growing with or developing with, but it seems to be something that is affecting the relationship between you all the same. And maybe this other person is simply like emphasizing it or drawing attention to it, highlighting that aspect in you somehow. They seem to be triggering it or making you notice it more. And I feel like even though it is sucky to experience that, it feels like this person is meant to help you heal that aspect of you. Like they are triggering all of these feelings for a reason. And even though it feels like as a result of this triggering, you are feeling a bit put off, or like this, this resistance seems to be growing in you, or at least some challenging feelings regarding that person, because they are really the only person that you can like direct this sense of pain or frustration towards. I feel like they are not the actual cause of that wound, at least for some of you. Maybe for others of you they are, and this other person has done something to wound you deeply. But I do feel, because of the archetype of this card, I do feel that it is a more deeply underlying sort of thing that you have been struggling with in the past, and they are just simply like bringing it back into focus for you. Now, most likely when you chose this card, you're most likely feeling all sorts of different things, but mainly I feel like sadness and hurt and disappointment and maybe heartbreak as well. And I don't know whether this is more of a specific message or not, but I definitely heard the word unworthy in my mind just now. So it feels like for some of you, this other person is triggering this feeling of unworthiness within you. And that seems to be the thing that is causing this pain, or that is at the root cause of this wound. Yeah, I just noticed the element earth here too, or the symbol for the element earth. And that seems to be further confirmation that this is something that is deeply buried within you. This is something that has been with you for a long time. And it seems to be something that is now sort of coming back to the surface, you know. And I'm also looking at the golden sphere here, which on the one hand is again confirming that for some of you, there is an issue regarding self-worth or feeling unworthy. But maybe, again, more of a specific message. But for some of you, the division seems to have something to do with values and how those values are not aligning. And again, some of you seem to be feeling this innate pressure to try to like mirror or to try to accept this other person's values, even if they are conflicting with your own, because you feel like you don't have a leg to stand on, or like you, maybe some of you don't really know what your own core values even are. That could be an issue as well, or that could be the reason why you are trying to accept or adopt this other person's values, even though they don't seem to feel true to you. But for others, it just feels like if you know what your values are, there is something about feeling like you can't really protect them, or like you shouldn't, like there is fear embedded in it as well. So that, you know, if you were to express these values or stand up for them, that you wouldn't know how to back those up or how to explain them or something like that. And so I feel like as a result, there is this growing resentment in you. Again, this sadness and this pain, because you seem to be accepting something or trying to accept something that isn't right, or that doesn't feel right to you. So it almost seems like this, it almost seems like you are trying on the surface to portray that everything is okay, or maybe even like keep the peace or something. But I feel like on the inside you can feel that things are shifting, that there is that you are slowly but surely growing distant from this other person. And anyway, I'm gonna leave it here. That is just the intuitive part that I was feeling. And if you don't know if this is specifically talking about you, then don't worry, because we are going to also look at some oracle cards here, which are going to describe the general situation that you are in right now. And this situation should be the most relevant, the most sort of front of mind for you. So as you listen to these descriptions of what it is that you are supposedly going through, it should be a lot easier for you to understand whether this is your pile. So let's see. We have To the Sea, Recover, Illumination, Ideas into Form, and Inner Power, distractions, and chop wood. Let's start off with these two cards. We have To the Sea and Illumination, Ideas to form, and Inner Power. So these two cards are saying to me that you are on a journey of some sort, especially with To the Sea. It feels like you are, like, this whole process is underway and you seem to be in like quite deep waters already, where you can't really go back to how things were before, and you are not at the sort of destination point either. So it feels like you are kind of in the middle of this vast ocean. Again, with this fairy being alone over here, it feels like it's a deeply personal experience that you are having, even though, again, this seems to be talking about a relationship. At least, again, that's what I'm just feeling intuitively here. But this process is deeply personal, and you are doing it alone. And you are going through all of these feelings by yourself. And again, this To the Sea seems to indicate that you don't quite know how to approach the situation. You don't quite know what to do with these feelings, or how to navigate this whole situation. Now, we also have this illumination and ideas into form and all of that. So these keywords are again saying that you are becoming more and more aware of this existing pattern or this existing wound in you. And I feel like with Inner Power, you are feeling that there is something that is different, like within you, that doesn't match what is happening around you, what is happening in the dynamic. Like there seems to be this, again, this like mismatch, this clashing of like either values or clashing of energies. Again, I feel like you are very much keeping it hush. And see, I find it so funny that we're getting this card here, because this is a massive, massive confirmation that this is something that is a deeper sort of pattern. With the recycle or recover, it feels like it's a repeating thing that you have gone through before, or that you are maybe having to deal with like periodically. Maybe it's some sort of recurring pattern in your relationship, so that, you know, even if you switch partners, or even if you stop talking to certain people in your social circle, and you get new friends, you get new acquaintances, you know, again, I'm just giving you examples. I'm not saying that that's how it has to be, but like if you sort of come across new people and you develop a relationship with them in whatever capacity that is, there seems to be some sort of recurring theme, or how the dynamic seems to end up in the same place. I feel like this is just one of those instances where it is way more intense, or where you are getting to the point where you want to change something, you want to do something differently this time around, or like break the cycle, so to say. And I feel like that's what this To the Sea is also talking about here, you know, that you are trying to do things differently this time around, or you're trying to break the pattern. So we also have, though, this Distractions and Chop Wood, these two cards. On the one hand, I do feel that it is talking about finding certain distractions, or finding things to do, especially with this Chop Wood, which is like sort of mundane tasks, or just keeping yourself busy, keeping things going, so that you wouldn't have to pay attention to the feelings that are growing, and to this division that is growing in this dynamic. So some of you, you know, are definitely having a hard time like facing or dealing with these feelings. And again, it seems to confirm the scenario for some of you who are just sort of trying to, again, keep the peace, trying to keep things going, trying not to rock the boat. And so you could be trying to think about other things, and again, not focus on the growing frustration or resentment or sadness within you. I just heard lack as well. For some of you, it may be the feeling of lack. But But for others of you, this distractions and chop wood, it could be also talking about trying to find sort of fun and fluffy and lighthearted things to do so that you wouldn't have to like deal with the work that is required. And like, I guess they are kind of similar in principle, that it is difficult to like kind of do what needs to be done. But I feel like the expression is different. So for some of you, you are just keeping busy and trying to do tasks and things like that. But for others of you, you are trying to gloss over the situation by like fun things and again, like lighthearted things and possibly going with the flow of like what the other person is wanting or suggesting. So yeah, that is what I'm feeling here. I hope that it was like easy to resonate with, or that it made sense regarding whether this is your pile or not. And if you did recognize yourself in this pile number 2, then definitely stay tuned, because now we get to the most important part of this reading, which is all about the messages that you need to know right now. And we are going to be focusing on 3 separate sort of stages. So we're essentially doing a past, present, future reading, and we're going to look at what you need to know about each theme. So let's see, what is it that you need to hear right now about the recent past that you have gone through? Okay. So, wow, we have the 8 of Coins and the Knight of Coins with the Queen of Wands as the underlying energy coming out in reverse. So I'm going to point out the zodiac signs in case you resonate with them. Your moon, your rising, your sun sign, all of those could be relevant. And maybe the other person's zodiac signs are coming out as well. And that may potentially be further confirmation that this is your pile. So we have heavy earth sign energy coming through, specifically Virgo with the Knight of Coins. But, oh, actually, the 8 of Coins is Virgo too. So heavy Virgo, and also Aries is relevant with the Queen of Wands. Okay, so I'm going to start with the underlying energy, because this seems to indicate what is the root cause of the issue. With the Queen of Wands coming out in reverse, it seems to talk about lacking, again, first of all, a sense of self-worth, or lacking this personal power, this personal fire to really assert yourself and to make your desires, make your feelings known. This feels really suppressed and slightly undeserving, I even want to say, for some of you. It seems to me that because of this sort of innate feeling of unworthiness, or just feeling like you're not good enough, or something like that, which again seems to be a deeper sort of wound, that is something that has caused this energy to become really prevalent for you. With the 8 of Coins and the Knight of Coins, there is so much obedience here, I want to say, sort of just like following the rules and doing what is required of you, basically like serving other people's needs and yeah, being like this reliable workhorse, I even want to say. You know, and the interesting thing is, compliance. That was the word that I couldn't think of. There is so much compliance in this energy. And especially with the 8 of Coins, it feels like there is a lot of repetition as well, or a lot of routines, like doing the same thing over and over, or just doing this thing a lot, or doing something meticulously and exactly right. For some reason, I feel like this meeting of expectations is another term that is coming up for me from these cards. So it almost feels like you have been trying to be perfect for other people, or to match other people's expectations, or to live up to other people's standards, especially with the Knight of Coins here too. This is the energy of someone who, again, does exactly what is required of them, who doesn't really complain, who just follows the rules, follows the norms, the routines that have been set in place they basically follow commands. Like, that's the Knight of Coins sort of energy. They don't really instigate. They don't rebel. They don't put their foot down. They do what needs to be done. They are reliable and they are loyal, and they can withstand certain conditions that maybe other people would buckle under for incredibly long periods of time. So that really seems to be the issue here. It feels like that is the way that you have been. And especially, again, coming back to this underlying energy, it feels like there hasn't really been any like rebelliousness or saying that you are not happy with something, or that you are lacking something, or some of your needs are not being met. Like, there's so much focus on other people that it almost makes sense that resentment and just feeling really undervalued or emotionally unfulfilled, that sort of feeling starts to develop over time. Like that, it almost, it just makes a whole lot of sense. And it seems to describe the sort of the dynamics that you most likely have been in repeatedly, and that's something that has caused the situation now, that has caused this division to start happening. But again, I feel like it's happening within you. It's something that you are not necessarily expressing. It's something that you are feeling on the inside, but that, again, you are keeping everything going on the outside. So let's also see, what is it that you need to hear about the present situation that you are dealing with. Okay. So we have the 3 of Cups, the 10 of Wands, and the 6 of Coins in reverse. Zodiac sign wise, we have some Cancer and Sagittarius coming out now. And we also have some Taurus, but just more earth sign energy. I feel like it's basically coming back to the same message that we have already been talking about, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but essentially it feels like this whole situation is talking about this dynamic, which is fairly dysfunctional in the sense that it's not serving you, and it seems to be something that is not sustainable. Again, I have to start off with the underlying energy, which is the 6 of Coins coming out in reverse, and it's clearly depicting how unbalanced this dynamic is, or again, this sort of pattern where you get to a point in the relationships where it's just you sort of doing the giving, and you don't seem to be getting anything in return. And the thing is, though, I feel like the people that these dynamics happen with, again, I don't feel like they are doing the sort of the taking of your energy, or sort of taking too much out of you. I don't feel like they're doing it on purpose. That's the thing. That's what I feel with this 3 of Cups coming out over here. The people around you that all of these dynamics seem to come into existence with, they seem to actually have good intentions, because the 3 of Cups is a really supportive and beautiful and loving energy. This is feeling like comforted and feeling seen, feeling appreciated, having these like-minded individuals around you who are just, celebrating with you the successes and experiencing with you the downfalls as well. It feels kind of like a soul family type energy here. So it feels like you have actually good and genuine people around you. So it's not that they don't want to offer you anything in return, but it almost feels like they don't know how to, because with this 10 of Wands, it feels like it's almost so automatic that you take a lot on yourself without even other people necessarily asking for it. This 10 of Wands seems to indicate, again, this push to like overperform or take on too much, and possibly even take on other people's things as well. You may be trying to alleviate some of the burdens for the people around you that you truly care about, because it may give you the feeling again that that's how you are earning their love. That's how you are becoming worthy of their support or their affection or their time or, you know, whatever. So it almost feels, or at least that's what I'm feeling, that if there are people around you who are offering their support or who are offering their help, and they are reaching out to you, and they are wanting to sort of be there for you, it almost feels, or at least that's what I'm seeing in my mind's eye, you're almost like pushing it away or not accepting it, even though you are actually truly struggling, and even though you could really benefit from their help. There is something deeply, again, innate within you where you can't accept it. And the tricky thing here is that as you reject this help, maybe it's even happening subconsciously, right? Maybe it's something that you are not even aware of, or it comes out in these really like unnoticeable small instances. But even as you reject this help, or as you take on too much by yourself, you end up feeling this sense of resentment afterwards. Yeah, it feels like it's this automatic thing that happens. So yeah, I feel like saying that you don't constantly have to be the therapist for your friends, or you don't have to like do something for the people around you, or for the people that you have these connections with, in order to kind of earn their love or something like that. Because I feel like you don't have to earn it. You are worthy of it just by being you, and you don't have to like overcompensate in the process. But again, I also realize that it is very difficult to do, because the impulse is so strong. And again, for some of you, it happens even without you necessarily noticing that that's what you were doing. So I feel like, yeah, it's just something that is important to note and to realize about this present situation. And it's just a matter of, again, reaching out and accepting the help. Again, I realize it's easier said than done. So let's also see what you need to hear about your near future. Okay, so pile number 2, we have the Page of Wands and the 9 of Swords, with the Queen of Wands coming out in reverse at the bottom of the deck again. So we have more fire sign energy now, especially again Aries, but Leo or Sagittarius could be significant too. And we have Gemini with the 9 of Swords. So I feel that with the Page of Wands and the 9 of Swords, in your near future, you seem to start exploring where those feelings of unworthiness, or where this like root cause of stress and anxiety is coming from. Because the 9 of Swords is essentially encompassing the feeling, again, the resentment, the sadness, the disappointment, all of the feelings that are cropping up as a result of this dynamic or this pattern existing in your life and in your relationships. You seem to actually, you know, start unpacking it, exploring it. And I love, sometimes I absolutely love the energy of the pages, because they are so impactful and they are exactly what is needed. Because the thing is here, right, we have as the underlying energy the Queen of Wands, which we were already talking about, and we can see that there is an issue with feeling worthy, right? And it feels to be a deep-seated issue. So with the page coming out upright, it's saying that you are starting small. It's saying that you are starting to play around with opportunities. You are potentially finding some sort of inspiration or getting some sort of illumination as well, that helps you to get on this journey of unpacking this 9 of Swords energy, so that you would be more in control, that you would be more aware, that you would start noticing how and when you are maybe getting to these dynamics where you are sabotaging yourself, where you are sacrificing yourself, where you are draining yourself for other people, right? And again, this is just the sort of the beginner stage. This is the first attempt at seeing the light, seeing the truth, and starting to make a change. And again, I love the page energy because it is not overwhelming. It's not this whole big earth-shattering, groundbreaking thing all at once. It's something that allows you to take things at your own pace and to kind of start taking power away from these beliefs. And I do feel that these are some sort of beliefs that you have acquired or adopted from someone around you, from maybe your upbringing, or just, again, the repeated experiences that you have had. And they are not actually true, you know, they don't actually portray what you are truly worth, right? Like there's no connection there, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's just about like switching on the light. Yeah, I don't know. It feels like you are switching on the light in a room, and finally you start seeing the shadows and seeing the pitfalls. And that is a really powerful place to be, because it all starts with this one little step. At one point, you get to a place where you are so aware that you are able to take control of that pattern and stop doing it anymore. So yeah, wow, pile number 2. This was something, and I hope that you know, got something to think about, something useful from these messages. But we are closing the reading out with an oracle card message too. This is simply support or possibly advice from spirit regarding this whole spread. So let's see what they want you to know. Whoa. Okay. Seems like you are getting 2 messages. So we have responding, not reacting. The only control we have is in how we respond to the hand we are dealt. Wow. Yeah, see, that is exactly the thing that seems to coincide with this Page of Wands and 9 of Swords energy, where you are becoming aware, and as you become aware, it is so much easier to start responding and not just blindly reacting out of this wounded space or this this triggered space, right? And I feel like you are learning how to take control back over the situation, so that you wouldn't be a victim to this compulsion to overserve or to overextend yourself. We also have the unknown, knowing the unknown. Oh my goodness, I'm loving these messages so much for you, because they just feel really, really strong and really impactful. This seems to coincide with the Page of Wands energy, where you are starting to explore the shadows, where you're starting to explore the things that you haven't noticed before, that you haven't been aware before, stepping into the unknown and starting to explore it, making yourself aware of it. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I just noticed there are actual lights on the pillars there. I'm not sure whether they are really lights or not, but these look like lights, you know, on the pillars. Maybe they are pearls or something, but they look like they are light bulbs or lamps or something on these pillars. So again, it just feels like, yeah, like you are switching on the light. I don't know why, but I keep wanting to say that. And at the bottom of the deck, we have renewal. Regeneration begins with decay. This is maybe one of my favorite cards in this oracle deck, because it is talking about the necessity of going through the sort of the painful or the difficult processes. It gives meaning to those times when we are struggling and when we are experiencing something difficult and having to potentially let go of what we know. And even if what we know is bad for us, it still doesn't make it any easier to rid ourselves of it, to let go of those sorts of things, even if they are like habits or beliefs or viewpoints or values or whatever. But the key point here is that you are in the process of renewal. You are getting rid of the decay, the parts of you that don't serve a purpose anymore, that are simply sabotaging you and your relationships and your happiness and your fulfillment in those relationships. So beautiful, beautiful stuff, pile number 2. And I hope that you feel the same way. I know that these weren't the easiest messages to hear, but again, if you chose this pile, if you felt pulled towards this Chiron energy, then most likely this is something that you are very much familiar with. But yeah, thank you for spending this time with me. And if you are still here, if you made it all the way through and you resonated with these messages, then please leave me a little cloud emoji in the comment section so that I would know that you made it all the way to this point. And yeah, that you are the real deal. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I truly appreciate all of the support. But yeah, I hope to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, insight, and hopefully fun. And in the meantime, please be good to yourselves and take care. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome to your reading pile number 3. My name is Helen and I am so grateful that you have chosen to spend this time with me. So thank you so much for being here. Now, before we get to the actual cards and your reading, I just want to give you a quick disclaimer that I'm actually not feeling the best. So yeah, I'm still a bit under the weather and not completely back to my usual normal self. So yeah, please bear with me as I try to get these messages across to you. And if I seem a bit downtrodden or not that full of energy, then at least you know why, right? So yeah, I just wanted to tell you what is going on. But let's get back to you and the reading. So you chose this Uranus card, and I'm gonna feel my way through it intuitively, see what I'm picking up on. Now, this card of Uranus is making me feel that at this time, pile number 3, you seem to be in a massively transformative space where you are breaking huge patterns and huge routines. You are breaking the status quo and you seem to be shifting quite a lot of things. And the reason why I feel that you yourself are the main instigator of these changes is because of how the lightning bolt is coming out of the hand and causing this, what's it called? Colored glass thing here. You know, it feels like you are, yeah, like you're breaking apart certain things and switching things up and coming out with these unexpected new twists and new ideas and things that you are wanting to try and things that you're wanting to experience. And yeah, it all feels really exciting, but it can also be somewhat jarring for the people around you who have known you for a while or for a long time and, you know, who are maybe living with you or in a relationship with you, who are working with you, like things like that. It seems to have a bigger impact on the people around you as well. And it could be sort of difficult for people to keep up with you, you know, because you seem to be switching gears quite rapidly here. And it may also cause certain issues or disruptions in the dynamics of your relationships, because I feel like people don't really know how they should act or how they should behave. And I feel like the rules of the game are changing because you are changing certain aspects. And I don't feel like it's something that you are, you know, that you are doing to stir something up or to cause conflict. You seem to be doing it because you have outgrown certain things and because it is time. It is time to try something new. It's time to explore things that you haven't explored before. It's time to give a chance to unknown experiences, you know? So you are following certain passions, following certain desires, following certain whims. I almost want to say, because I just heard it in my head, yes, man. I don't know whether it's an actual thing, like an official thing, but you know, there are yes man nights that people do, and it's basically this one evening or this one day where whatever like anyone suggests or whatever idea that anyone comes up with, you have to say yes to everything, and like whatever opportunity comes across you come across, you have to say yes to that thing. And I mean, obviously not saying yes to stupid things, or not saying yes to things that would actually endanger yourself and other people, but just things that put you out of your comfort zone that you maybe wouldn't have the courage to do normally. So it feels like you could be in that sort of mindset where you are so tired of things being the same old. And so you seem to be sort of taking things into your own hands, very literally, where you are adopting this yes man mindset and just saying yes to things that maybe previously, would have scared you, or that you wouldn't have dared try. And again, I'm not talking about like stupid and risky things that again put your own life or the lives of other people in danger. I'm just talking about new experiences, right? Like new activities, new hobbies, new interests, new ideas, new places, new people, all sorts of things that are new and out of the norm for you. So yeah, it's the sort of energy that feels very exciting to you, or it seems to be very exciting and interesting to you, but that may cause stress and anxiety to other people who are closely tied to you, or who have these relationships or existing commitments, existing agreements, existing contracts with you, because it feels like they don't really know what to expect, and that could be causing the issues or the stress within them. So yeah, that is what I am feeling intuitively. But again, this is just the intuitive part. So if you are not 100% sold on this being your reading, then definitely stay tuned for the oracle cards as well, because these are going to describe the general situation that you are in right now. But it's not just the general situation, it is the most sort of central, in focus, front of mind situation for you that you are dealing with, or that you are in the middle of in your life as you are watching this reading. So hopefully you should recognize yourself quite easily from these cards. We have milk and honey, opportunity. We have spiritual power, sacred geometry, and esoteric wisdom. Balance, and between worlds. Okay, so again, a lot of confirmation coming through from these cards. We have the milk and honey card coming out first, and this to me is saying that you are truly enjoying this time that you are in right now. You seem to be having a lot of fun with these new ideas, with these whims that you are getting, these inspirations, these new acquaintances, all of these things that you seem to be playing around with, and it does very much feel like fully free, unrestrained or unlimited curiousness and joy that you seem to be in. Like there is this childlike enthusiasm of just making the most of it and just enjoying for the sake of enjoying, going through these experiences that make you feel excited without necessarily thinking too much about it, or trying to forecast how things are going to go, or trying to rationalize why you should do something or why you shouldn't do something. I don't feel like you are doing a lot of thinking necessarily, or a lot of planning. It feels much more just like being in the moment and going with the flow and seeing what lights you up. And again, I love that we're getting the opportunity card here, because it just feels like it's talking about you taking grab of certain opportunities. And maybe there are a lot of opportunities being presented to you as well, where the universe is almost mirroring your enthusiasm or your openness to new things. Now, I find it very interesting that we are getting this spiritual power and esoteric wisdom and all of these keywords here, because yeah, it feels like this inspiration is coming from some sort of a higher place, or a more spiritual place within you. So it just seems to confirm again that you are very much in tune with what your soul is yearning for. You seem to be following certain deeper impulses, And for some reason, I'm drawn to the image on his t-shirt. And the thing that I'm getting from this, which I have to be honest, I don't know anything about sacred geometry. It is a completely sort of gray area to me. But I am feeling the message of as above, so below with this image, even though I have no clue what this image actually symbolizes or what this geometric shape actually symbolizes. But that's just what I'm feeling. So your energy seems to be in the place of as above, so below. So you seem to actually be like manifesting and bringing to life some of these, again, these spiritual insights, these impulses, these ideas, these aha breakthrough inspirations that you are getting. And see, again, this has been like, I feel this has been the case in every single pile, where the last two cards, they just go together beautifully. And this is the same thing here as well. We have this balance and this between worlds card. So with this yin and yang, it's all about the duality, right? And balancing these two opposites. And with this between worlds, it's clearly, again, trying to manage and keep the balance of these two simultaneously existing opposites. And it seems to just confirm that as you are sort of managing and dealing with your old life and everything that entails, you are also playing around with the new world, the unknown, the possibilities, the opportunities, all of that. Everything that you have yet to explore and experience. So it is this careful balancing act that you are doing. And again, with this balance, I do feel that it can hint at trying to manage like how other people are reacting to it, or how other people are a part of the changes that you are going through personally, you know? So yeah, pile number 3. I hope that these messages made it a lot easier for you to understand whether this is your pile or not. If you recognized yourself in the descriptions here, then most likely this is your pile. So stay tuned, because now we get to the most exciting part, which is the tarot messages that you need to hear right now that are specifically meant for you. And we are essentially doing a past, present, future spread. So we are going to be looking at the recent past, the present situation, and your near future, and what you need to know about all of those. So let's see what you need to know about your recent past. Oh, wow, that was really quick. Okay. Yeah, so interesting. We have the Ace of Cups coming out in reverse, and the Sun with the Knight of Swords. I'm also going to point out some of the zodiac signs that are coming out over here, so that you could more easily see whether you resonate with this pile. So it may be further confirmation for you. If you don't resonate with these signs, that's fine too. So first off, we have Uranus, and so we have the zodiac sign of Aquarius coming out, but we also have Gemini with the Knight of Swords. We have Leo with the Sun, and water sign energies could be significant too. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, but mainly we have air or Aquarius, Gemini, and Leo. Pretty much in every single reading, the recent past has been an indication regarding why this situation is happening for you right now. What is the sort of the cause of the situation that you are in now? And it is no different for you, pile number 3. We have I'm going to start with these two cards. We have the Ace of Cups in reverse and the Sun, which is basically saying that obviously there was joy in your life before, and there was fun, and there was play, and all of that, but it feels like there was something very essential missing. With the Ace of Cups coming out in reverse, it is an indication of feeling unfulfilled or feeling lackluster, feeling like something is missing, like something emotionally stirring, or something that would truly speak to your soul, something that would spark your heart and bring this sense of excitement and fulfillment back into your life. Like something like that was missing, because maybe you were drained by the responsibilities or the routines that were existing in your life, and you just had clearly this illumination about it, where you decided to take action and bring that level of joy and fulfillment back into your life. And that is what this Knight of Swords is talking about. You know, feeling motivated, feeling driven to actually do something, because knights are all about movement. Knights are all about taking action. And with the Knight of Swords specifically, this is saying that there is an idea or there is a concept that you are fiercely advocating for, or that you are fighting for. Especially because the Knight of Swords is the most like fierce and fast moving of all of the knights. So it feels like, like you decided to actually do something about that, instead of just waiting around for conditions to become better or something like that. Also with the Knight of Swords, it may be that there was a conversation or maybe some sort of other sort of input or insight that caused you to have this sense of like aha or illumination, where you realized what you wanted to do or what you wanted to try, or that something needs to change in the first place. So yeah, essentially, even though with the Sun it is clear that your life was not void of joy and fun, but with this Ace of Cups, it feels like there was something truly meaningful missing, something on a personal, like deeply personal level. And maybe it was something that you couldn't really put your finger on, something that you couldn't specifically pinpoint what it was. But yeah, it feels like your personal sort of fulfillment was lacking. And that is the reason why you are in this sort of breaking patterns and breaking routines, and why you feel so inspired to do all of this. Yeah, and I also want to say with the Sun card, I'm getting a second message that this whole journey that you are now on, or this shift, is as a result of you needing to get to a place where you are fulfilling some sort of like personal destiny, or it's the place that you are getting to, or these experiences that you are getting, have a vital role in who you are meant to become as a person. So it's almost like they are becoming a part of your identity. So yeah, it's like unleashing something about who you are at your core. That needs to happen here. But anyway, let's move on and look at the present situation and what you need to know about this present situation that you are dealing with. Wow. Okay, so we have the 10 of Coins, the High Priestess that came out in reverse, and the 7 of Swords. So zodiac sign wise, we have Cancer, but Pisces could be significant too, but Cancer is definitely more prevalent here. We also have Virgo with the 10 of Coins, and more Aquarius with the 7 of Swords. I'm getting a message here that you could be keeping it a secret, or you could be, okay, sorry, I know I'm sort of going back and forth here, but you could be keeping this whole process a secret, or you could not, you may potentially be like not divulging too much about all of the changes that you are experiencing. With the 7 of Swords, it feels like there are definitely secrets being kept, and I do feel that it is on your side. So you know, regardless of what the reasons are, even though I do feel that for most of you, the main reasons why you are not really wanting to share too much about this process that you are going through is because you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, and you don't want anyone to worry or to become more anxious than they already are, because I feel like you don't have the answers for them, because you don't know where these journeys are going to take you. And maybe the people around you who are impacted by these things that you are doing are demanding answers. They are demanding clear-cut reasons, or you know, that they want to know where you stand, or what you are going to, like, what is going to become of the dynamic, or how things are going to be in the future. And again, I feel like because you don't know, you feel reluctant to say too much. And I feel like even though you seem to be wanting to protect them, or not cause unnecessary stress or conflict or anything like that, it seems to be having a bit of an opposite effect here, is what I want to say. And so with the High Priestess coming out in reverse next to the Ten of Coins, which I very much feel is talking about, again, you know, the relationships, these dynamics that are in place in your life, regarding the people who are a part of your life in a significant way, who are affected by these changes that you are going through. And again, the Ten of Coins it can hint very strongly at family, but it can also hint at just long-standing relationships and commitments and agreements that you have with people. So yeah, it feels like these people that are affected by it, with the High Priestess coming out in reverse, it feels like it would be a really good idea to actually share what it is that you are going through, and to let them know about your ideas and these inspirations that you are getting, because the High Priestess can also be a rather secretive energy and keeping things to yourself. But when it's coming out in reverse, it does hint at needing to spill the beans, needing to share the secrets, or needing to let the truth come out. And again, you know, even if you don't exactly know, it's okay to say that you don't know. But I feel that truthfulness is something that could really, really benefit you in this situation, and in these connections as well. Letting people in on the process, or again, just letting them know what you were doing, or what you were thinking of, what you were planning, all of these sorts of things. It may actually surprise you how well that may be received. And the thing is, even if the people around you don't quite understand, or they are not happy with the ambiguous answers that you are giving them, I feel like you are, again, because of the High Priestess and because of the Sun here, I feel like and even this Archangel Metatron card as well, these feelings that you are pursuing, and these desires and inspirations, they are coming from such a sacred place within you, that I feel like other people's opinions and disagreements, they don't really have that much power over you anyway. I feel like they don't have the power to sway you off the path that you're on, because it's so closely tied to your soul and to your identity, and it's something that you have to do, something that you have to experience. So, you know, don't be too worried about other people like talking you out of it, or raining on your parade or something like that, because I feel like they just don't have that kind of power. But let's also look at the near future and what you need to know about it. Wow, that was so quick. Okay, so we have the Page of Cups in reverse and the Six of Coins in reverse, with the King of Coins as the underlying energy. So again, going over the signs here, we have heavy Taurus coming out now with the King and the Six of Coins. And we have more water sign energy. So Cancer, very specifically coming out here. But also Scorpio, Pisces could be significant too. Okay, so I actually feel, this is so funny, but I actually feel that these two cards are very strongly talking about the message that I just finished talking about, which is the point that your family, your loved ones, your friends, your co-workers, your boss, whoever you have these long-standing commitments with, they don't have the power to sway you. They don't have the power to, shake your enthusiasm. That's really what I feel, that like, whether they understand you or not, I feel like it doesn't have the power to take away from the experiences that you were meant to have, right? And the joys that you were meant to experience, or the feelings that you were meant to go through. But these two cards can also talk about the level of, again, people feeling a bit distraught, or like you are not really sharing with them. That's what I feel with the Six of Coins. And this Page of Cups in reverse seems to indicate this level of anxiety, or maybe some fearfulness as well, not really knowing what to do or how to behave, how to react, maybe even allowing their emotions or their insecurities to get the best of them, maybe being a bit moody, needing your attention more, or maybe even clinging to you a bit more as well to try to control the dynamic and to control the situation. So if there are immature or insecure ways that people around you are behaving in, if they are trying to like control you because they don't understand what is going on, or because they are having a hard time supporting you and going along with all of these changes that you are going through, it's something that can very easily be mitigated and solved by this King of Pentacles energy. Because again, I feel like the reason why that they are acting that way is because they are not understanding, or they don't have the insight, they don't have the intel into what is going on with you. Again, with the Six of Coins, there seems to be this withholding of information, withholding of energy. And the King of Coins here, which I feel very much is talking about your energy, by the way, is saying that basically you can very much make the whole situation smooth over by taking control of the situation and just staying true to what you are doing, but also like letting people know, right? So it's about like damage control and maintaining the connections that are already in your life, not forgetting about those. Because with this Taurian archetype and the King of Pentacles, there is a heavy focus on staying loyal to your commitments and staying true to what matters to you, to not lose sight of the people and the connections that you have, and to not get like totally swept up in the things that you are doing and all the changes that you are going through. And I feel like as you open up and share what you are doing and keeping, you know, people in the loop, so to say, I feel like you will get to this King of Coins place where you are so secure, you are so sort of strong and resilient, and so fixed in your plan that you are not going to be swayed. The process, the experience that you are in is not going to be any less enjoyable because of it, because of like other people being aware and being able to share their thoughts on what it is that you are doing. And I feel like more than anything, it is just going to help alleviate their anxieties and their worries and all of that. So I just want to quickly get this point across as well before we close the reading out. I also feel that this whole journey that you are on, this whole process, it may take you to a place where you will have where you will have a more easy time turning down situations or commitments or opportunities that don't actually give you anything, or that don't fulfill you, that don't make you happy, and that don't bring joy to your life. Yeah, I feel like you are going to be getting to a place, or you're moving towards a state of being, or a way of being, where you know exactly what you want and what matters to you. I don't know, but I definitely feel that someone out there needs to hear this message, because they can quite easily and quite often find themselves, you know, getting tangled up with situations and people and commitments that are quite draining and that they don't actually want to do, but they just sort of accept or take on because they want to make other people feel good or something like that. So yeah, that is something that you are breaking or sort of walking away from. Yeah, starting to leave behind, essentially, with this whole journey. But anyway, let's close the reading out with a last oracle card message from Spirit, and let's see what sort of support or advice they have for you. Whoa. Okay. Wow, we have misalignment. Miracles become normal once we face all of the aspects of our life in the same direction. Okay, hang on, I need to read that again. Miracles become normal once we face all of the aspects of our life in the same direction. Oh, okay. So I feel like With this misalignment, this seems to be Spirit's way of saying that basically you are aligning your life and you are getting things in the same direction, you know, almost like rearranging the parts that don't fit, that are counterproductive to where you are trying to go, or where your soul is trying to go, I should say. Because again, it feels like this process is not entirely conscious for you. There are certain forces and certain impulses that you are experiencing that are coming from your subconscious mind, that are coming from deeper parts of you. And yeah, there is definitely divinity mixed into this. There is spirituality mixed into this. I was like, this is just powerful stuff. And I feel like it's again one of those lovely messages where Spirit kind of takes the edge off of things, where, you know, it's easy to start overthinking certain aspects if we don't know what we are in for. And that's exactly the sort of situation that you seem to be in, right? Where you are breaking certain patterns and you are experiencing new things, and everything is very much up in the air and very much unknown. And so this just seems to be a beautiful sort of support or confirmation that all of these things are happening for a reason, and that you are meant to be breaking these cycles, these routines, these patterns. At the bottom of the deck, we have Spirit Self. Be who you are as you are. Yeah, wow. Massive, massive confirmation that you are sort of embodying and aligning with your true self, with, again, the sort of person that your soul came here to become. So I don't know what else to tell you, pile number 3. This is really, really powerful stuff. And I feel like if this was your reading, then you most likely know very well that it is some sort of bigger life-altering process that you are in. I think that you can feel it. But anyway, wow, pile number 3, I am going to end it here. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, for watching these messages. And I hope that this reading was fun for you to listen to, that it gave you something useful. And by the way, if you are still here listening to these messages right now, please leave me a little flamingo emoji down in the comment section, so that I would know that you made it all the way to this point and that you are the real deal. And oh my God, I can feel my voice is going. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate all of the support, and I appreciate you hanging in there and bearing with me as I stumble through these messages. So thank you so much. And I hope to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, insight and fun. But in the meantime, please take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.